Okay, look, this is a bonus video. You clicked on it, it had bonus in the title. You want to see what the bonus is. Now, at the beginning, I did say I was going to do fitness, mental, and financial content. But this bonus is a little bit about something. It's about social, how to be better in social situations. Now, the reason I'm making this is because I was at a gathering recently, JROTC with high school. Now, hold on. If you hate JROTC, don't click off. This has nothing to do with it. I was at a commander's call, which is basically where the entire corps comes down and we have a little celebration of what happened in the past marking period of school or so. And at the end, there's an after party where we all gather around. We have food, snacks, drinks, whatever there is. And we just talk, right? We talk to our fellow cadets. Great. And there, I noticed something. People, even though they've received great awards and great positions for next year of high school, and they should be very proud of themselves. They should be walking around with a puffed chest and a big smile on their face. They should be walking around, yeah, I did that. That was me. I got director of athletics. That should have been you, right? And what I noticed is all of you guys are really awkward. Now, this is just about the average high school dude, right? The guy who's probably watching this isn't awkward. But also I've noticed self-improvement kids, teenagers who want to be great on self-improvement. Who are like, oh, I'm with the Andrew Tate. I watch Hamza. I watch Iman Gadji. Yeah, I'm a self-improvement dude. Yeah, those guys, they're really awkward. I've talked to them, and they're like, dude, are you good? You seem a bit puzzled of who you actually are. Speak with your chest out. Chin up, dude. Be confident when you're speaking, because you're the one speaking. People are listening. Just take the show away. That's another thing. In social situations, you want to take the show away. Unless somebody else is doing that, if somebody else is talking, don't try to go over them and start a feud by just interrupting them all the time. No. But if you're carrying the conversation, continue doing so and do it effectively. Gather everybody's respect. Make it short, sweet, make it nice, and make it funny. Frick's sake. You guys are putting jokes where they shouldn't be, and you're so awkward. It's so cringe. You know when you make a joke and no one laughs? That's not because of the joke. The joke could have made them laugh. You just placed it at a wrong time. Be very careful and mindful of where you should put a joke and at what time you think people would laugh at it. I don't really have a scenario to put this in as an example, but okay. You wouldn't put a joke about grocery stores when you're at a burger place. You know? You wouldn't put a joke about iPads when you're like, I don't know, in woodworking class. Probably wouldn't, right? And that just doesn't, that joke isn't as funny as it would have been in a situation where you are using iPads. Let's say your class was given iPads for whatever reason, and you make a joke about it. It's going to be a lot more funnier there because it's relatable, and you all are in that current situation when you're using an iPad. iPads suck, whatever. Insert joke here, right? Know when to put it. Know when to put it and how to put it. How to put it, it's like kind of a talent. It's kind of a talent. It doesn't take a purebred comedian to be funny, but most of it is knowing where to place it. Sure, you could say a lame joke. Even in the right placement, it might be lame. All it takes is just slight rephrasing to make it a lot funnier. So it's not that hard, right? But like I was saying, carry the conversation and make people respect you. How you do that is you, like you've seen me do all this time, talk with your hands, dude. It's like wave your hands around to capture, literally, physically, like capture their attention. If you want somebody to look at you, you would do this, right? Now do that in conversation. Just do that in conversation, and people will listen to you a lot more. Don't speak super fast, but don't speak super slow. Don't take their time away. Another thing is don't say ums or ahs. They'll go, because you sound unsure. You don't sound confident. You don't sound like I should be listening to you. I don't care if you're entirely better than me. If you're like Bill Gates and you say, there's a slight of a doubt in my mind that I shouldn't be listening to you. Now, of course, I'm still going to listen, right? Bill Gates, right? Oh my gosh, Bill Gates is talking to me. But if he said, I'm like, how did you really get here? That thought was in the back of my mind. And that lowered, even by 1%, that lowered my respect for him. This is theoretical. I didn't actually talk to Bill Gates. But again, carry the conversation and actually talk. Don't just blurt out random words or random jokes for no reason. Talk with your hands. Talk with a good voice. And end on regular sentences that don't end with a question mark or exclamation mark. End on a lower note. You probably heard this, but if you haven't, it's this subconscious way of recognizing someone's tone at the end of a sentence. When it ends in a lower pitch than it started, you will have more general respect for that guy than if he ends with a higher note, if he started, right? And I actually have to try to do that because I'm pretty much programmed to start with a lower note or to end with a lower note. But let's say I talk like this, right? And I continue talking like this. And throughout the entirety of my conversation, I end up talking like this. I sound fucking dumb. I sound retarded. Are you stupid? Okay, sorry. That was a bit aggressive. But like, in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. If somebody speaks and ends every sentence they say on an upper note, as if they're like asking a question or a favor, if they end like that, I'm obviously gonna have less respect for them. Obviously. First of all, we're basically subconsciously programmed to do so. Second of all, you just don't sound good. If you ever heard a motivational speaker, they don't speak like that. They just don't. There's been many people on stage saying nobody respectable speaks like that. So, again, capture respect. Whoever you're talking to, whether it's one guy or it's an audience of people, capture their respect by saying conversational points. You can be controversial if you want. Probably not going to get you the most respect. But there is a part of, like, subconscious respect you give to somebody when you are not afraid to say controversial topics. Of course, I'm not saying go out and show your racism to everybody. No. Dude, take control of the situation. Don't be the guy that's listening. Be the guy that's talking. Of course, not 100% of the time. Don't always be the chatterbox, right? Don't always talk to everybody. But if you see yourself in a conversation between one or multiple people, carry the conversation to most of your ability. And I think that will find you a lot of success. You see, like I was talking about in the JROTC after party, while I was standing around there after I've already carried like several conversations, I'm just standing around trying to enjoy my drink. This girl, I won't say her name, who became the athletics director, which is a position I wanted before I started getting the idea of dropping out. She came up to me and was like, well, I got the idea of dropping out at the after party. Well, before the after party. But before I wanted to be director of athletics. And she got that position, confirmed. Right, she got it. So I'm just staying around. I'm just drinking. We're not friends. But she comes up to me and says, wow, so you're really leaving? Like a friend would. I was like, subconsciously, in half a second, I understood that if you carry a conversation with some people who aren't even your friends, they'll automatically assume you're friends because they're part of the conversation where you are talking and they've noticed you talking. They're like, this guy, I have a positive mental image of him. We're basically friends. That's a subconscious image. I was like, I just went with the flow, went with the conversation. And I said, yeah, you're going to miss me. I was like, I don't talk to this girl at all. I don't talk to her. We're hardly friends. I was like, you're going to miss me. And she's like, yeah, dude, we hardly ever talked one-on-one. She had respect for me and wanted me to stay in school and stay around her because I was carrying most of the conversations that she and I was in. That's what I'm saying. This little subconscious things, like hand movements or not ending your sentence on a higher note, right? That tiny little thing or things make people respect you a lot more to the point that they consider being in your social circle altogether. That you've unlocked a new friend with these tiny little simple habits. So just keep that in mind. And of course, follow, stay tuned, and learn more.